Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It's so good to have you with us here on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Ren Hartley, of course, joined by meteorologist Gerald Lansford and the senior chief, Rusty Lord. Really warm yesterday, but you're saying today is going to be the best day of the week.
Best day of the week, a little chilly to start, but we got rid of the humidity, and I think that's going to make a world of difference for everybody. It's going to feel phenomenal out there. Just got to get past the chilly morning. It's a good 15 to 20 degrees colder out the door this morning than it was yesterday. Well, like Aaron said, I think today's going to be the best day of the week. Do not let this fool you. We're at 46 with a feels-like number of 40, northwest wind. Look at the dew point down to 39. That is off the charts low on the muggy meter and the refreshing side. We were hanging out up here yesterday before the front moved in and took some of that air, some of that humid air out, and then it brought the dry air in. Current temperatures over much of the area are in the 40s. Even Norfolk, look at that, down to 39 on the thermometer this morning. So it is chilly behind this front, and these numbers are 20 to 30 degrees colder out the door at 7 o'clock this morning than at 7 o'clock yesterday morning. You will notice the difference. The wind really starting to back off. It's great news. The gusts even falling off faster than expected here. We got gusts near 25 miles per hour in a few spots. So again, models suggest we can get there in the next couple of hours. We'll see if they pick back up just a little bit. Tends to happen right after sunrise, but then they'll drop off again, and it looks like a beautiful afternoon. We get rid of the wind. The clouds are already on the way out. May have some high ones off of this storm complex down to the south try to move in, but overall, it's going to be a great day, and it's going to turn into a phenomenal afternoon that's able to warm. By 9 o'clock, we're in the upper 40s. By noon, we're well into the 50s, and into the afternoon, we have 60s on the way. So this should feel great. People often say we skip over spring, we go right into summer. Well, that's not been the case this year. We have had some beautiful days, and I think today's going to be another one of those. By 7 o'clock, we're starting to fall back. And then overnight tonight, you can see, watch to the south and southwest. The clouds start to increase, and heading towards tomorrow morning, there's some showers in play for Wednesday morning to start with, and then into the afternoon. I think we could keep some of those around, and a small chance of some spotty showers on Thursday as well, although Wednesday's probably the best bet to get some rain, and we're likely going to be parked into the clouds a good portion of the day. So I've mentioned it several times. Today is the best day of the week, at least as far as weather goes. It all depends on obviously what you make of it. But
yeah. I love the good day. So should we keep our rain gear handy, though?
Yeah, I think you'll want it for tomorrow for sure. Make sure you don't lose it, because by this time tomorrow morning, we're going to have some showers around, and it's likely going to amount to some decent rain for some of us, especially in the southern half of the map here. You'll notice you go along and south of I-80, you got the best bet of seeing the showers. You go north, it's going to be really tough to add up. You could have some half-inch to 1-inch total south of I-80. Same story, different model here, showing us a little heavier stripe trying to show up, and that's all dependent on a few of the thunder showers that can get going. Again, limited amounts near and north of I-80, probably less than a quarter of an inch along I-80. You go a little farther north, and there's not all that much. And not really going to bump up the humidity either, so that's good news. The muggy meter looking pretty good all the way through the weekend. So this 10-day forecast looks great here. We'll give you the first half of it right now. 70 degrees on Thursday. We'll go 64 on Friday. And the weekend's looking great. I think it's going to be 70s, sunshine, low humidity. Again, keeping the good spring stuff going.
Okay. Here's an opinion I think everybody might have right now. There's about construction everywhere in Omaha. It's crazy.
It's everywhere. It just keeps popping up. It's, like mushrooms just all over the place. But the most consistent issues that we've had for travel have kind of stayed consistent. And it's I-80 where we've been looking at that being a problem. And no surprise, once again, we're going westbound. We go through Q, back toward Giles. It's backing up again this morning. So this is what it looks like as you're heading through the stretch. We're seeing everybody check up as you're trying to get into that lane restriction. So don't be surprised if you've been using this and you've been going into this area and running into delays if you have the same scenario unfold for you again this morning. Now, a little further to the west, what is a little bit different, we've got backups westbound as you're getting near 144th, and that's for people who are trying to exit there to get to 144th, because in both directions on 144th, we're looking at delays that are in place. Yesterday, southbound was heavily impacted, but northbound held up in okay shape. This morning, it's both directions where we've got the delays, so that's kind of spilling onto the interstate proper. This general area, you'll just want to be prepared for it to be slower than normal. And then speaking of construction zones, let's check on 482. It's moving slowly over the Missouri River, and you've got traffic kind of trying to merge into the same area, and you're getting those delays that are spilling there toward the I-29 interchange. So that's where we're seeing any of our issues line up very well with a lot of our biggest construction spots. When you're not on those zones, you're moving along pretty well. 370 looks pretty good. Dodge moving along okay. Of course, you've got busier traffic right around 90th, 72nd, some of those busy intersections. So plan accordingly. If you see the orange cones, don't see red, take a deep breath. But it's going to be a little slow for you.
All right, Jared, thanks. 3 people are in the hospital this morning after a bad crash on Dodge. This happened near 108th. Omaha police say this all started with a stalled car on Dodge. The car behind it slowed down before being rear-ended by a third car. The force of that collision sent the second car into that stalled car, and so far we know the injuries were serious. Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon is once again criticizing the defense secretary.
That's right. Bacon told reporters in Washington it would help if Pete Hegseth, quote, learned his lesson, end quote. The criticism comes after reports surfaced he shared sensitive military details on the messaging app Signal. Now, he is accused of sharing those details with family members as well as the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic.
All I've heard is him defend it or put blame on other people, and I commanded 5 times. When you make a mistake, you take responsibility. But as far as I could tell, that's like a week old, and I don't know that, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to persuade him that that's the right thing to do, but I think it hurt him. I heard all over our district. They know I'm speaking the truth. You can't put classified information on an unclassified server.
Now, Bacon says he uses Signal, but not for classified messages.
Now over here at the safety desk, joined by Maria Cade. Maria, a new study is finding a common chemical might be much worse for us than we first thought.
Yeah, this is called phthalates. They're found in a lot of household plastics that we all own too. So something that is impacting all of us. Now, the study shows the chemicals may have contributed to more than 10% of all deaths coming from heart disease in 2018. Now, the problem is they inflame the coronary arteries, which of course can accelerate that heart disease. The bigger problem is that those phthalates are used in a ton of plastic, so really they're everywhere. You can find them in food packaging, clothing, furniture, even kids' toys too. And you can be exposed by breathing these in or ingesting them. And experts say, of course, you want to avoid those. It's best to use glass containers to store your food, use unscented detergent, and eat some fresh fruits instead of maybe canned fruits. Those are all some better ways to try and avoid those when you can.
Okay, good to know. And switching gears now in the meantime, maybe you're making your breakfast right now. You're going to want to listen to this. Maybe take a pause.
Yeah, something that a lot of us probably have in our pantry is being recalled. It's a common ingredient that many of us probably have for breakfast. Grain millers, they're voluntarily recalling 63,000 pounds of their oats. So the FDA says that they could be contaminated with tiny little pieces of plastic. Officials at the FDA said that this is a class 2 recall. That means that the chance of having any serious health consequences is low, but of course that chance is still there. So if you do have them, FDA says to avoid eating them, throw them out as soon as you can.
Okay, good advice there. Maria, thank you. We're back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. Taking a live look outside. Some filtered sunshine right there. Remember yesterday, and it was muggy and kind of warm to start our day. We didn't need our jackets. Well, that is not the case this morning. Mother Nature cannot make up her mind, Rusty.
You can see you can almost see the air yesterday. It was so thick.
It's true.
Now it's dried out a ton. It's cooled off a ton. We've lost about 20 degrees off yesterday morning. We almost got to 90 yesterday, by the way. So it was hot, it was humid, and now the front has moved through and cooled us off. We're down in the 40s. Look at Norfolk at 39. So a lot of 40s out there to start the day. Now that the sun's coming up, we'll start to rebound pretty quickly because the air's so dry. 15 to about 30 degrees colder right now than it was at 7 o'clock yesterday. I think that's the big story this morning. You still have some leftover wind gusts from last night up near 25 miles per hour, but overall those are decreasing and it looks like a pretty good day. Notice we get into the afternoon, very light winds. Great day to be outside. And any clouds are moving off towards the east and southeast. You got this severe thunderstorm watch box that's down here in Oklahoma. Pretty good complex of storms rolling through the Tulsa area right now, likely causing some problems. But for us, we have beautiful sunshine, some high clouds off of that complex trying to move in. We have 40s to start, 60s this afternoon with sunshine looking at about 67 degrees. A great afternoon on the way. So you go pick up the kids today. It won't be in the 80s and humid. It'll be in the 60s and comfortable with a north wind. They'll be walking home in some very enjoyable air. I think today's the best day of the week, folks, because rain chances build in overnight, and by early on Wednesday morning, we have some scattered showers in the area. 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Could have a few of those moving through by 9. You can see kind of speckling the map there at 9 o'clock. And as we march through the rest of the morning, I do think we could have some of those even into the afternoon moving through. So the best odds are probably going to be near and south of I-80, but there's still potential to get a few of those a little farther north. I don't think it's going to be anything incredibly heavy, but some half-inch rain totals south of I-80 are possible. We'll go to 64 then on Friday and 73 on Saturday. So a lot of spring still. We're not diving into summer. We had the 180-degree day. Have had a couple sprinkled in April so far, but so far it's been pretty comfortable, and you haven't had to crank the air conditioner a ton just yet.
We're hoping to stay comfortable. Of course, we know that as we head into the warmer months, it means the rise of humidity potential.
And May 1st is Friday? Yeah, I think so. We'll go with that. Thursday. All right. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Thursday is May 1st. And yeah, so you got a lot of May showing up on this forecast here. And you can see that there's 70s next week, but nothing all that hot, nothing all that humid right now, with some chances of showers and thunderstorms out there. But here's the muggy meter over the next several days heading into early next week, and that's looking pretty good. There were some signs maybe next week it could spike a little bit as we get some of the precipitation chances in here, so we'll watch. I still think we're going to get a great week and a pretty good weekend out of it, and no signs of prolonged humidity just yet. Thursday.
Mother's
Day's coming up. I got to get this stuff.
Oh, right. That's right. I'm looking forward to this nice stretch of weather. All right. There's even more construction that we need to know about as folks head out.
But wait, there's more.
We can say that every time.
Yeah, there's plenty more. But this one that I'm going to talk about is a new one that we haven't really talked about too much, and it's at the interchange of 144th and Dodge. Let's take a look. And as you are looking at this camera, you're going to see kind of some orange barrels that are scattered around here as you're going onto some of the off ramps and the on ramps. So as you're going through this area, you may encounter some kind of drivers who aren't aware of what's going on. You will be because you're watching this morning. But there you can see the left lane blocked as you're trying to go onto Dodge to go eastbound. You've got a couple of other spots here with that. So that could cause some confusion, maybe some backups. Watch for that this morning. You can see that's already kind of the case at that area. We zoom out a little bit. Dodge itself is actually doing really well at this point in the morning. We'll see if things do back up as we get a little bit later in the commute. Something to watch if you're heading northbound on 168th. You've got one lane traveled. This is a very short spot, but that's going to be in place through Friday and could back up as you're trying to approach that intersection there with Maple. Other spots to watch out for, closure on southbound 42nd. That road completely closed between Dodge and Farnham. That's going to be there for 3 weeks. Northbound not impacted, but southbound you'll need to find a different route. And then this one could be a sneaky one. This is as you're going eastbound on Cumming, very short stretch again. just past 30th, but you've got traffic that tries to merge there to go to 480, and a lot of times we get backups with people who are maybe heading to Creighton as well. This scheduled only a couple days with that one-lane travel, but watch for some delays there. Right now, the biggest delays 144th, just north of I-80, and then on I-80 as you're going westbound through that construction zone, as well as 480 going over the Missouri River. The classic construction zones are the ones that are the biggest issue right now.
All right, there's so many cone zones to keep track of. Thank you. Well, happening today, you'll get another chance to hear from the two mayoral candidates. A debate between incumbent Gene Stothard and challenger John Ewing will be broadcast on News Radio 1110 KFAB from 10 to 11 this morning. First Alert 6's Mike McKnight will be a panelist for the debate.
Also happening today, Omaha City Council will vote on an amendment to proposed police union contract.
Yeah, back in March, Mayor Stothard proposed to increase starting pay for a new recruit by nearly $2,000 and pay for officers at the top of the pay scale by nearly $9,000 in the next year. The goal is to help police recruiting efforts. City Council will also vote on an ordinance addressing street racing here in the metro.
Yeah, if you're caught, there would be 3 penalty levels. The first, up to $250 fine and or up to some time in jail. The second, up to a $500 fine and or up to 2 months in jail. The third, up to a $500 fine and or up to 6 months in jail. Spectators could pay up to $350 in fines.
Those penalties are essentially what we're able to do under a city ordinance, and I do think because they get increased if the behavior is repeated, I do think it will make a difference.
City prosecutor says he believes he has the support to get this passed.
Happening this weekend, Nebraska senators will hold public forums discussing where medical marijuana stands in the state right now. The forums come after the bill to regulate medical marijuana failed to get out of General Affairs Committee. The first forum will be held in La Vista on Saturday. On Sunday, a forum will be held at the UNO Thompson Alumni Center. The time for both public forums are from 1 to 3 p.m.
Coming up, we're crazy in love with the tour.
See what you did there. Find out more when we return.
Well, if you're debating booking a trip pretty soon, you're going to want to listen to this.
The new data shows airfare fell more than 5% last month compared to last year. Airline CEOs are warning investors of a drop in demand from passengers. They say people are holding off on traveling because of economic uncertainty from tariffs and unstable markets. Now, Delta, Southwest, and United are all planning to cut back their growth plans.
Good time to plan a trip.
Yeah. Anybody have anything exciting coming up?
Oh, yeah, but mine's already all booked.
Oh, dang.
I have something booked too. Maybe it has to do with this next story.
Oh, I think I know. All right, so fans are saddling up to see Beyonce's highly anticipated Cowboy Carter tour.
Yeah, she announced the tour just hours after a groundbreaking Grammy win in February. This is the scene last night in Tejas. Wait, this ain't Texas, though. This is Inglewood, California. SoFi Stadium has been invaded by cowboy hats and boots. Beyonce will take her act on the road through the March of the summer. She's set to perform 32 shows across 9 cities in the U.S. and Europe.
Oh, I like her outfit. So, Maria, where are you going?
Okay, one of the cities is New York. She's performing at MetLife Stadium.
Holy cow.
This is over Memorial Day weekend, but like the story says, it's a residency. So she's performing multiple dates in each of these big cities.
Okay.
So I think she's doing five nights in LA, 4 nights in New York. So I'll be at one of them. I'm very excited.
Oh, I can't.
As a big member of the Beehive, I'm very excited.
And you got your ticket when?
The day they dropped.
Yeah.
You probably had to, because that's a really hot
Well, last night's performance sold out, so I think it's really in high demand.
I think the Vegas show would be fun. You got Vegas and Beyonce.
Yes.
Woo!
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Even like the nosebleed seats in that concert would probably be good.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not sitting up close, but I'll still be there.
You'll be there.
I'll still be there.
Do you have your fit all ready? Oh, we gotta get ready to go. You got your outfit ready?
Of course.
Okay, we want to see pictures. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on our streaming. We got to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Tuesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Aaron Hartley. Let's get an update on traffic this morning with Jarrett Lansford.
And I-80 travelers, it's happening again. As you're going westbound between Q all the way toward Giles, you're backing things up quite a bit as you're trying to merge into that construction zone. This has been a pattern for the past few weeks, and you can see their speeds are down into the single digits at spots. So that's something you're going to need to work around. What's new this morning is you're also looking at some delays occasionally as you're heading westbound to go to 144th. 144th is slow in both directions near I-80. You can see Giles being impacted indirectly as well. So Millard, you're going to need a little extra time for that morning drive with many roads running slowly. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Now, temperatures are a lot cooler out the door this morning. You can see we're at 46 in Omaha with a feels like number of 40. So the wind chill is a factor after being incredibly humid yesterday. So that's not the case today. Satellite and radar does show some high clouds trying to stream back in, but overall sunshine's going to win out. The clouds are moving out. The wind will be decreasing this morning. So by the afternoon, it looks a lot better. With lighter winds, look at where our temperatures are going today. I think today is going to be the best day of the week with the lack of wind, sunshine, and just low humidity combo all working in our favor. 67 degrees for the afternoon high. Enjoy that. Now, it does look like rain chances return for tomorrow. Keep that in mind. We'll get some rounds of scattered showers in here. Starting in the morning, best odds are probably south of I-80 on Wednesday. Aaron?
A debate between incumbent Mayor Gene Stothard and challenger John Ewing will be broadcast this morning. You can hear it on News Radio 1110 KFAB from 10 to 11 this morning. First Alert 6's Mike McKnight will be a panelist for that debate.
All right, it is 7:28 and we're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then. Have a great day, everybody.